This is going to be good for me here, right on the bottom. Your trunk's a little high, and this is going to be good for me here, okay? You got your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, back to your corner.
For Frank Martin, this is the first fight under the tutelage of former two-division champ James Buddy McGirt. While for Rances Barthelemy, he is trained by Clarence Bone Adams, a former super bantamweight champion. Round one begins, scheduled for 10 at 140. The southpaw Martin immediately utilizing a pivot against Barthelemy, who was a champion at 130 and 135. But has been campaigning at 140 for a while now.
Yep, and look, we saw Barthelemy, he's coming out in that righty stance. We're kind of interested in that, and you see Frank's at his best against a righty when he's able to kind of step to the outside, use that jab, and shoot that left hand to the body as he came out doing in these first few seconds.
Slick movers, calculated attackers, and defensive specialists are the common MOs of the Cuban fighter. Barthelemy is at his best when he counters intelligently from close range, although the modern Cubans, they've kind of flipped the script, showcasing a lot of power, including Erislandy Lara, who we see in the pay-per-view defend his middleweight title.
And I think for as much as Rances at times in his career, we've wanted to see more from him in fights, as he's aging, he's had to show more. He's had to let his hands go, and I certainly think Frank Martin will make him tonight.
Martin said the changes he's made in his career will make him a more dynamic fighter to watch. He says he's going to be letting his hands go, not just 1 or 2 shots, but 4 and 5 punch combinations. He says that working with McGirt has been already beneficial as he parries the jab from the southpaw Barthelemy. So 2 southpaws, foot battle still paramount. Minute and a half left in the first.
Barthelemy was a bit dismissive, though, of Frank Martin coming in. He says he doesn't have anything that stands out to me or that I haven't seen besides youth being on his side. That's the only advantage he'll bring into the fight.
Barthelemy actually was a champ at 130, 135, never lost the titles. He vacated both times to move up in weight. He's been at 140 since 2016. So very comfortable at this weight class, and a comfortable start for Barthelemy.
No question about it right there. But speaking of weight, while Martin gives left hand for Martin, while he gives no excuses for the loss to Tank Davis, he did say that was the hardest weight cut of his career, and he didn't realize it until he got in the ring against Davis and really felt the effects of it. He says 140, he feels so much stronger, so coming off of that long layoff, he looks good tonight.
Yes, he does. And then you see, it's interesting, this is the first time that Barthelemy has switched to that lefty stance, and he did have some success against Gary Russell landing that left hand, but he's going to have to find the timing against Frank Martin.
Controversial stoppage there, although it was a competitive fight. Gary Russell winning by stoppage. The first stoppage loss of Barthelemy's career, but again, he ended on his feet and took umbrage with the referee's decision that night. A minute left here in the second round. Couple of southpaws going at it. Martin looking for the angle.
Looks like there's an abrasion on the cheek below the right eye of Barthelemy from that clean left hand from Martin a few moments ago.
45 seconds left in round number 2. Referee calls for the break.
And that's one thing Barthelemy knows how to do, is kind of slow down the pace of a fight, and he does it by flipping stances or kind of clinching like that right there.
Don't remind us of Barthelemy versus Robert Easter, please. I recommend it for anyone who has insomnia, and it's no disrespect to the participants, but my God, that was the worst fight I've ever called.
Or Barthelemy versus Mickey Bay. You can pick and choose there. Barthelemy's had some awkward moments early of catching Martin off balance, but the real power shots that have mattered have come from the Ghost here as he continues to try to figure it out.
Now going to the body, continues to turn Barthelemy. Some fancy footwork here on the part of the slick technician Frank Martin. Continues to turn. And there's a lead left hand, popped him in the face with that left.
Yeah, when Frank's on, he could just do anything he wants in there. But Barthelemy's going to have to do that. He's going to have to throw where Frank is going and kind of meet him with those shots. And he's going to have to shoot that left hook a little bit lower, especially with Frank ducking down and spinning to the right.
And this is, unfortunately, more of a round that we've seen from Barthelemy lately, having just thrown 20 punches with just over a minute left. Has been highly inactive over the past few years. Both of them coming off losses, however, and both are prideful, and now Martin continues to utilize the footwork to initiate his attack.
And he's really starting to time Barthelemy with these clean left hands.
Under a minute left in round 3.
And Martin's a heck of an athlete. He played running back in high school in the football team. He wrestled in the state championship as a junior at 152 pounds, and he's the first cousin of NFL linebacker and former Cowboys draft pick Jalen Smith.
Yeah, he's using all that athleticism tonight, and Barthelemy at the moment cannot keep up. He can't. He's a step behind of what Frank's doing at all times so far.
1-2 from the southpaw. Martin lands. That jab was blocked by the high guard of Barthelemy. Barthelemy needs an uptick in offensive output, but Martin's movement is hindering that.
I mentioned the layoff of Martin. The layoff of Rances is even longer here.
Both
19 months.
And hasn't looked good in those last few fights, and it's you know, an opportunity for Frank Martin to introduce himself at 140, but he's got to make that statement.
Yep.
And against a guy like Barthelemy, it's very hard to look good against.
Very hard, because he does try and slow that pace, but what he does still have is some power in that left hand. He did rock Jose Ramirez a few times with it. And,
yeah, half of his wins have come by knockout. Barthelemy with 15 KOs, 12 of 18 for Frank Martin.
Back to your stick. There you go.
Back to the stick on cue. Martin delivers. So the fighter and trainer on the same page, Brian.
Indeed.
First fight.
First fight together, of course. Martin, formerly under the tutelage
of Texas's own.
Yes, Texas's own Derek James, but promoted by Errol Spence and back in here in his new weight class.
It's kind of sad when a fighter loses that one of the first things they usually do is change trainers, but all due respect, Derek James, one of the best trainers, and Buddy McGirt, hey, what a fighter he was, a former two-time champion.
A Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer, right on.
Yep, sometimes you just need that change of scenery and kind of reset. But there you see Barthelemy kind of throwing some interesting right hands. He's just trying to touch Frank Martin with it because he doesn't know which way he's going.
He can't corral Martin. Martin continues. We're going in circles here. Barthelemy might get dizzy.
Yep.
He's unable to cut off the ring.
I'll tell you what, if I was a fighter, I'd have Joe Goosen in my corner. You can smell that guy coming in the building. Heck of a fragrance coming off of him.
I know
These two hope to enjoy the smell of success tonight with a win. Just over a minute left in the 4th round. Yeah, you know Joe Goosen, don't you there?
I know him halfway well.
Under a minute left in the 4th. Oh!
Yeah.
Great left hand, and down goes Barthelemy! The 4th knockdown of his career. And the last time was against the left-handed Gary Russell. But Martin showing his power at 140, dropping Barthelemy here in the 4th.
Let's see.
Looking to close the show.
That's what I was going to say. The Ghost backs him up with big power shots.
Martin, 4 on the floor, hunting Barthelemy, not willing to let him off the hook, delivering hooks.
Yeah, Frank led him right in that shot, threw that right hook, came right behind it with the left hand, and caught Barthelemy right on the side of the head. Barthelemy's legs still look there, but he's a step behind Frank Martin at all times.
So Frank Martin breaking through in the 4th round. And there it is! Mamma mia! One-hitter!
Wow.
Quitter! Are you kidding me? The Ghost just scared a bunch of 140-pounders with that knockout of the year candidate.
Wow.
Welcome to the junior welterweight division. Martin talked about wanting to fight the winner of tonight's main event. Boy! Woo!
And now, of course, medical attention and our best wishes and thoughts going out to Barthelemy, who was on the receiving end of one deadly left hand, Justin.
Yeah, just straight down the middle, one-hitter quitter, and we hope he's okay down there.
Second time, but more emphatically getting knocked out this time, and you wonder what the future is for Rances Barthelemy. It's still on the canvas.
Yeah.
Frank Martin hoping that he's okay, but Frank Martin, I mean, you talk about wanting to make a statement in your debut in a different division, just landed his 13th knockout. The crowd here in San Antonio applauding the fact that Barthelemy is sitting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 56 seconds of the 4th round. For your winner by knockout, Frank the Ghost Martin.